Start this tour with the garage. As you can see, it's completely empty. That's the garage door that we had to wait for over 3 months, but we got there in the end. There's a little bit of a story that goes behind that. When we're moving in, I was told that the garage door that was there, it just needed, this is quote unquote, it just needed one arm bolting onto the wall. Well, this is him that that said that. It turned out after some effort, you can see my lads actually put that piece of timber on for that arm to be bolted onto. It turned out that it was a door that was reclaimed from somewhere else. It was never made to fit here. And they were both quite surprised that we could make it work. She was actually quite pushy. Come on, give it a try. See if it works. Anyway, yeah, quite a lot of effort wasted on that, based on just another lot of lies. This is the garage door. It's fine. It worked. Not an issue. Right. Let's have a look at the meters. Meter reading on this, you can see 5418. That's the gas, that's cubic meters. Now, meter reading on this is 13127.5, and that's kilowatt hours, so that's electric. Anyway, let's come out of the garage. Little toilet. Their fantastic mirror back in place. This is the state it's always been. Nothing's ever been done in here. This wasn't part of the initial refurbishment that we did. The only thing that we managed to do is you'll see in the original inventory pictures how much black mold there was in this corner. Gosha managed to clean that off with the steamer. Anyway, that's the little toilet. Moving on to the utility. Yeah, when we were doing the kitchen refurbishment, I discussed this with him. I said we'll put a piece of worktop over the appliances in here. Oh yeah, no, sure, no problem, no issues. And then in one of the emails, she came back saying that we did this without consulting with them. Just another example of lack of communication, and we'll get to that later. Right, this is the boiler cupboard. This is the infamous boiler. The thing was made in 1873. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't made in the 1800s. It was definitely made in the 1900s. It's definitely had its day, but they managed to keep it alive, kind of like Leonid Brezhnev of the former Soviet Union. They managed to keep him alive for quite a long time after he should have died. So this is the kind of a Brezhnev boiler. Keep it going at any cost. Doesn't matter that it's a piece of crap, doesn't matter that it's not very efficient, doesn't matter that it keeps breaking down and it's a nuisance to the tenants. Yep, keep it going. Why not? Anyway, thing leaks. You can see all the residue in places. Yeah, generally it's a piece of crap. Doesn't matter. Whatever, we're out of here. Right, now out of the goodness of our heart, we're leaving a tin of jasmine white, which is the paint that the majority of the house is painted with. Here you go, that's free from us. And some goodies that were here. I'm sure there's an emotional attachment. Some of them belong in a museum, but this is the crap that we found in the garage. Over when we moved in. Oh, that's part of the original garage door, I think. The one that was robbed from a house somewhere, from a building site somewhere. Right. Yeah, plumbing for washing machine, tumble dryer hose. Right, back door. Now this has been an ongoing issue for forever. Yeah, you can see it opens perfectly fine. When it comes to close it, oh sorry, zoomed in accidentally. When it comes to close it, you'll raise this, and it doesn't. You can't turn the key. I'm not sure if I can do this single-handed. What you need to do is you need to really press this up, put your knee against the door, and then turn the key. Let me put the phone down. I don't think it'll, I can do this single-handedly. So, that up, knee against, now you can lock the door. It's locked, secure, safe. Now, it's an issue that we've mentioned a number of times. The reply was, oh, it just needs a little bit of adjustment. Okay, well, that's how it is. That's how it's been. Now, this is the best part. We've been living with this thing for, what, a year now? Over a year, whatever. It's a faulty shower upstairs. This is him coming out to deal with it. So he's I don't think he had the tools to actually open a ceiling in a civilized, tidy manner. He just kind of punched a hole with a hammer. Whatever, I'll get to that when we get upstairs. Anyway, this thing leaks. You can see the rot. It's decaying. There's water ingress, and it's constantly wet and dampy. The redundant piping in the ceiling void, whatever, that doesn't matter. It doesn't concern us. Anyway, like I say, we'll get to that when we go upstairs. Moving into the kitchen, when we took the property on 4 years ago, they had a kitchen here which was, I think, original with the house. Unfortunately, I don't have any pictures of that. The inventory pictures actually show my guys installing this one. So the agreement was that I would supply the kitchen and other things. We would install it and would tile the wall, and then I would back charge him for supplies, £500 per month. That was the agreement with him. That's what he agreed. Now, once we already committed to moving in here, we gave a moving date to the people who were buying our house. She came into the picture and she said, "No, I can't afford that." So we were kind of screwed by then. So whatever, I agreed to split it over 12 months for her. So she had £3,000 worth of supplies. I mean, we spent more on here, but we back charged her £3,000 over 12 months, £250 per month, interest free. Any labor in here and quite a bit of materials, I just absorbed. So all this we supplied when we moved in. Now I offered to change the floor tiles at like a silly cost, whatever. I think I said 300 quid for like just basic, dark grey slate, plus installation and lifting these up, because the new units, they don't actually quite match the footprint of the old units. No, she didn't. She wasn't interested. So, putting aside the fact how wonderfully dated these are, we had these holes on the floor through our tenancy. Anyway, kitchen is a Howden's. It was supplied at cost, quite a competitive cost. I've got a pretty decent relationship with the Howden's I use. Appliances, yep. You can see that they're clean, they're tidy, no issues with them. Everything works as it should. The light, the extractor's actually vented. It goes through the wall. Hob. All 4 burners, perfectly fine. You can see that there's no damage. That is slightly heat damaged, but it's these hobs. I think it's quite typical. If you put a large pan over that, it just damages the knob. I'm sure she can find one for $350, including postage. Shouldn't be much of an issue. Oven, again, it works. It's clean. It has been cleaned just. No problem with it. Yeah. We had to put some whatever tiles in the back just for the dishwasher to sit level. So that's what that is. That's the under sink, all the plumbing and the cupboard. Again, there's a washing machine outlet, an inlet, sink and tap. All works. Yeah, that's the curtains she had in here. I didn't bother putting them up. I mean, they're from 20 years ago. I don't think anybody would want them up. So, but we did preserve them as she requested. We kept them in black bags in the loft. So here they are. Everything that came out of the kitchen is here. Right. That's where the fridge space was. Yeah. This is how they fix things. This is when we moved in. This is exactly how it was. That tape must be quite old. But anyway, that's their way of maintaining things. If it doesn't work, put some tape over it. Right. Pantry. Yeah, exactly as it was before. Yeah. Okay. Living room. When we took the property over, it was pretty poor. There were a lot of cracking on the walls, and the ceiling. It looked pretty poor. So I had my guys patch it up, make it decent, and paint it. Now that was completely absorbed. Cost-wise, we back-charged them for the flooring. They chose the flooring. I actually myself, I went to get it from B&Q, brought it over, and we installed it. Completely free of charge. The only thing they were back charged for was the underlay and the flooring itself. Gas fire. Last year, 4 visits from British Gas, 4 days off to wait for British Gas to come to tend to this thing. It's worth what you can get a new one for about 120 quid. But no. She's got a British Gas cover. So you know, my time and my days off and my losses, they don't count. Doesn't matter. She had it fixed for free. They had to replace the inset there. The funny thing is, in all fairness, they were pretty good with sending a gas engineer out to do a landlord certificate. Except for this year, I had to chase it. I don't know what happened, but I had to chase it. The guy who came out, he actually condemned the fire, and she started arguing that he's wrong because British Gas didn't condemn it when they came out the previous year. But either way, he's put a tag on it and was condemned. So then after that, British Gas came out a few times, tried to deal with it. They had to order things, and it's just a joke, just to save 120 quid. Anyway, yeah, TV bracket, that'll be coming off. I'll be taking that. Now the holes in the wall will keep. As she told me, because they had their TV on here, so when they took it off, there were gaping holes, quite a few. So she told me that those holes are universal. So let's stick to that. Let's assume they are universal. Your universal holes are patched up and painted over. So now you have my universal holes. You're free to use them. Yeah. Right, yeah, that door they supplied, we installed that free of charge and painted it. Not a penny. They brought it, I don't know where she brought it from, it was a bit moldy, but anyway, that was replaced. The old one was damaged. You'll probably see that in the initial inventory pictures and description. Either way, they just brought the door, we put it in. Right, curtain pole, still here. Blinds still here, exactly as they were 20 years ago. The wonderful design still in the window. Now this radiator, it doesn't work, right? It's something that they didn't tell us this. I questioned once we moved in, and once we started heating the house. I said, well, it doesn't work. So I rang her, and she said, oh yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. The pipes are clogged under the floor. Now, I had a for fuck's sake moment then, because if she had said that before we laid the floor, it would have been dead easy to lift the floorboards, replace whatever section of piping, or replace the radiator, no problem at all. Once the floor was laid, that was that was it. So that radiator never worked. Now her argument was, you've got a gas fire. So that's how it was for 4 years, for 4 winters. Right. Blinds, let's demonstrate. As they were, they still are. Not an issue. Alright, so we've got blinds and we can close them. Oh, there we go. One way, the other way. No problem. Right. She had a curtain pole up here, which we took down. You can still see the holes. I left them there deliberately. So it's fairly easy to reinstall. So that's it right here. And some leftover flooring if somebody wants it. Yeah. Right. We'll deal with the outside, with the back garden in a minute. Right. These lights. Yeah, you can't buy bulbs for them. I don't know. I have no idea where they got these from. You have to buy like the normal little halogen GU9, I think they're called, and you have to straighten out the prongs and you have to cut them off with a pair of pliers. You cannot physically buy bulbs for these. It's been an ongoing battle for the duration of the tenancy. Anyway, okay, let's move on to the hallway. So we've got some mats here. We've had them here so we don't damage the flooring. I'm not going to get into the discussion about quality of it, but either way, it hasn't been damaged. It's nice and tidy still as it was. We've had these mats on here ever since. Now things like this, that's their floor installer. I think they just left it like that. It's always been like that. Right, front door. Okay, it actually opens quite far today. You can see that it just catches right there. There are days where it'll only go like that, yeah, and then it catches the floor. Now, again, she said minor adjustment. Well, that adjustment never happened. The door sometimes opens, sometimes it doesn't. Same with locking. It's always an issue. There's a leak in the flat roof. We painted over it when we moved in. Over 4 years, it just grew like this. So when it rains, the felt on there isn't very good, and I don't think it's flashed properly. So anyway, yeah, leaky flat roof. Yeah, that's a doorbell that is disconnected. It never worked. So we're gonna leave the wireless doorbell that I bought and put in here. I would take it away, just for argument's sake I would, but because I had to remove the button which was under, the wired one, and I threw it away because it was a piece of crap, I'm just gonna leave this one. This one works fine. Right. Blind. Yeah, no problem. Okay. Right, so that's the entrance. Yeah, another one of their fantastic light fittings. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have the actual glass pieces that go over the bulbs, so it's always been a bit of a feature, shall we say. Right, understairs cupboard. Yeah, that's where shoes live, exactly as it was before. Right, shall we proceed upstairs then? Right, carpeting. Carpet. We've asked to have it washed when we're moving in, and she just put up a fight. I think it was about 150 quid. She said, I'm not paying for having the carpet cleaned, you know, you can clean it yourself. So we did clean it ourselves. Right, this is the room over the garage, which was an extension. I don't think they actually did the extension. They made some modifications, but anyway, this is the only place where we've they've replaced the carpet because it was pretty disgusting. So these two blokes come over, they take the old carpet out, they put this thing in, and then when they went, the old carpet, they just dumped it in the middle of the drive. They just dumped it there, right there. So I ring her up, and I say, what's the story with this carpet? Why did they leave it? I mean, you know, we use carpet installers on commercial properties and on domestic properties, and they always, you know, whoever installs the carpet, they take the old carpet away. Industry standard. And she says, well, you've got a van and you've got skips. You said you have skips around town, so you can just take it away. And I mean, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. So I just told her, you know, she's out of her mind, and she started yelling at me. I mean, that level of verbal abuse I have not had. Honestly. That's when she really showed her true face, was with this carpet. She stormed over here. They were just living around the corner at the time in that house that they lived in and refurbished, or whatever you want to call it, what they did to it. She came around with her son. That was anger. That was proper anger. Yeah. Anyway, new carpet. We had new carpet. It still looks new. No stains. Nice and tidy. Okay, right. Built-in furniture. She was quite proud of all this stuff. And to be honest, it's, you know, it was decent quality in the day when it was installed many years ago. It was functional. It worked fine. Right. Got a drawer here that works perfectly fine. There is lifting plastic on this, and this, I think it was in one of the inventories, so it just lifts up. It's separated, probably just an old age thing. Yeah, exactly the same as it was. I could have tightened that, but why should I? Right. They had a blind here. That's it, right here. Mounts are still there. If somebody wants to reinstall that hideous thing, they can. Up to them. Right, wardrobes, no problem, exactly as they were, everything works fine. Yeah, this is the same light fitting as the one downstairs, only this one has the little round things on it. Most of the other ones, they don't. They probably just fell apart with time. They are quite old. Right, all the mirrors are intact, all good and great. Yep. There's another cupboard here. Now we need to demonstrate each drawer because I don't trust them. Okay, again. Exactly the same thing, it just lifts off, same as the other side. That was a non-issue. Right, this is the ensuite bathroom, which they had done, about 20 years ago. She mentioned the cost, it was ridiculously high, but whatever. Right, first thing from day one, a wobbly toilet. The whole thing just wobbles. She never said what she wants to do with it. Right. All clean, all good. Exactly the same problem pretty much everywhere. Wherever you look, you've got this stuff lifting off. Just comes off. Yeah, all clean, all tidy. Now this bathroom, this is the one that leaks. It's quite a typical thing. These bathrooms, when they're not done properly, water will get in through micro cracks in the grout, and it'll damage the plasterboard behind, and then with time the tiles get so much movement that water just seeps in, and it'll leak through downstairs. So what they've done is he's come out once and he's patched it up. Now let me just show you. This is after the second time. He took off 2 rows of tiles, 2 or 3 even. He broke some, so he had to get some similar ones. You can see that some of them are a different color. But this is the quality that he's done this in. Have a look at that and tell me if you'd want that in your house. Right. Okay. That's his tiling. Now, whatever these have used on here, whatever he's used on here, I don't know if it was CT1 or no one else, whatever. It's left that yellow grunge on it, and that's not removable. I mean, if we go on this wall, it gets better. It gets beautiful, beautiful tiling. I'm not going to use names here, but beautiful tiling, mate. Beautiful tiling. Right. Some of that he's got on the shower tray, so that I mean, Gosh has spent a lot of time trying to rub that off. It just doesn't come off. It just doesn't come off. Yeah, these little specks. Yeah, he's got it on the actual enclosure. God knows how. He's got it on the glass in places. He's got it all over the place. Oh, look at that. That is the same stuff that he's used for the tiles. Now he's also put some debris in the basin, which clogged the pipes. It wasn't worth calling them. We just dealt with it, but all over the place, all over the place. Now on the outside, again, a beautiful job. Yeah. Now this thing still leaks. It still leaks. That's why we've got that hole in the ceiling downstairs. So this is the kind of standard we had to put up with. And any arguments with them that it's this is not right, and she would say, "Oh, he's done a great job. He's done a great job. Bless him." Okay, right. The shower that was in here, I'm not gonna pull it out. Again, yellow old thing. It was so scaled up that it stopped working. So I just installed a new one. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Have it free. Free of charge. Free of charge. That's what you like. Free of charge. Right. Okay. Right. The radiator in this bathroom isn't too bad. I mean, you can see that it's not the greatest, but wait till you see the one in the next bathroom where she said it'll just take a lick of paint. That was her words. Anyway, so we're done with downsuite. We're done with this bedroom. Landing. Okay, now same fantastic orange carpet. That's on the stairs. Now this, whoever installed this, should be shot in front of their family. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that you have. Whatever you do, you can't get it. I mean, it could be glued together, but why should I? Why should I? Why would I? Right, master bathroom. Quite a, again, she boasted about how much money she spent on this, 20 years ago. Quite a typical thing if you lay floor tiles directly onto floorboards without using ply, without stabilizing it with either beckerboard or ply. When the floorboards flex, they'll crack the tiles. So, right, just to show you the quality we're on about, whatever she paid for this. Right, so the vanity unit, again, the laminate lifting off in places. That's the kind of quality that she paid all this money for. Yeah, beautiful. I think it's called ecru, this color, kind of an off-white. Right, now the best thing here is the radiator. This bathroom, this is what just needs a lick of paint. Right. I am so disappointed that this hasn't given in and flooded this part of the house. Honestly, look at that. Cool. Yeah, this kind of thing. I've not actually seen that. That's the kind of quality they did when they put piping in. Right. Anyway, going back to piping. This shower. Let's go back to the ensuite just for a second. This shower, whoever installed it originally, the waste pipe, the drain pipe, it was running uphill through the wall. So with time, it developed a drip. the actual trap, because there was water standing in it, or the connection between the trap and the pipe, because there was water standing in it, wasn't designed to do so. It developed a drip. So I offered for one of my lads to come out, open the ceiling, replace the waste, take it through the wall at a correct angle, and then replace the hopper and the downpipe, and then close the ceiling and replaster it. He waited for payment for about 2.5 months. She said she wouldn't pay him because I promised I would paint the bathroom ceiling, or the utility ceiling, so she wouldn't pay him. The poor lad, he waited 2.5 months for his money, a few hundred quid. That's how this lot operate. I'm glad they paid him in the end, but I must say I wasn't too, you know, I didn't look good. I didn't look good. Right, box room. Nothing's been done in here. This is the only room that never was painted, but as you can see, not really any issue here. Little cupboard, all empty, all clean, all tidy. Excellent. Right, so this is the front bedroom. You can see the carpet is definitely cleaner than in what it was when they moved out. I mean, generally the house is cleaner. I understand that it was a bit of a rush move, but anyway, I don't think she would moan. Yeah, again, missing light things. We never bothered. Why would we? Why should we? These walls, this room, it really cracks. I don't know if you can see that. It really cracks. There's these houses, they have a tendency to subsidence. You can see the ceiling cracks. Yeah, you can see the ceiling cracks all over the place. Right. Yeah. Again, blinds are here, curtain rods are here. We haven't sold them on eBay. Right. Yep. And like I say, you know, in all fairness, these built-in wardrobes, they were pretty decent quality in the day. Unfortunately, with time, things like that don't improve, and they are showing age a little bit. Right, so that's the front room. When we're moving in, there was a big hole in the wall right here, and I question, you know, what happened here. I mean, the fist size thing, God knows, but she said her son was playing hockey in the room. Whatever, that's been fixed, no charge. Yeah. Up here, there's not a single thing they paid for. We paid for all the labor and materials to have this freshened up a little bit at the time. By the way, I did offer to replace this thing, this radiator. I did offer to replace it at like a, you know, silly cost. No, that was too expensive. Back bedroom. Again, you can see the carpet is clean. No issues. Okay. Now some universal holes. They're not our universal holes. They're their universal holes. I'm sure she can universally use them. Right. Here's another little gem. They had these dimmers, like sensor dimmers. It's 4 of them because 4 of them broke down. They just either they would not work at all, or they would come on and off when they wanted to. So we just changed them for just normal ones. But because they probably cost, she's going to say that they cost 150 quid a piece. So here they are, no problem. quite a interesting piece of kit that was. Right, drawers. Yeah, all the wires still in place. Yeah. I'm gonna open all the cabinet doors. They all work. They all open. They're all good. Right. Right. That's the original shower. That's the original shower attachment here. So again, we've changed that. Slightly newer. Just that. Free of charge. Have it. It's all yours. You can see the bath. It's clean. It's not the newest. Now I'm not sure about the bath panel. I can't remember if it was broken and we just put tape on it, or if it already had tape on it, or if we broke it. No idea, honestly. I'll put my hands up and I'll say, if I need to spend £17 on a new bath panel, by all means, please back charge me. This one, it needs to be cut, but I'm sure, just like with tiling, I think he'll manage. He'll do a beautiful job. But again, it may very well be that it already was cracked, so I don't remember. I'll look at the inventory and we'll see. Okay, great. So I think it's time to go downstairs and into the garden. There are a couple of good stories there. I'm gonna put my shoes on, so we can fill that gap. I'll tell you a little. I was watching the Discovery Channel the other day, and it turns out that some cultures in the world, they have this arrangement, and it's a cultural thing. They have this arrangement where it's the woman who wears the testicles in the family. It's called matriarchat. Some Asian countries, deep Russia, some places around the world, they have that. Just a curiosity. Not really related to anything here. Anyway, I got my shoes on. We can forget about Discovery Channel and let's go out in the garden. So back door we've already talked about. It needs minor adjustment. Okay, right. So when we first moved in, well, when we first started moving in, we saw this hideous thing. It had a bar. It's into the sun, so we can't really see very well. It had a bar running across it. But anyway, I spoke with him, and he said, yeah, we'll take it out. We'll take it out. It's redundant. So you can see the movement in it. It's actually quite funny because when a pigeon lands, it shakes. So he said, yeah, we'll take it out. And then when she stepped into the picture, she said, no, we want to keep it. So I questioned it a little bit, and I said, listen, I got my guys here. I'll if you pay 60 quid, I'll have them take it down and take it away. £60. Take it down, take it away. No reply. So then I raised it again a few weeks later, and she came back. I thought it was already removed, so I don't know. She thought it was removed because, what, 60 quid? I just wanted to let her know how much I would pay for it. No, sorry, don't think so. So then a year later, I questioned it, and she said, no, we don't want to get rid of it because my son, now watch this, my son, who was at university at the time, I think, when he comes home from school, he loves to run down the monkey bars. I mean, they say these things. It's like it's off scale. It's like dealing with, I don't know. I don't want to use certain words, but it's like dealing with just really odd people. So, yeah, university age son. Yeah, wobbly old piece of crap climbing frame. Yeah. And when he comes home, where he doesn't live here anymore, from university, he likes to run on the monkey bars, and that's why we had to look at this hideous thing for 4 years. an absolute bloody eyesore. So hopefully now that we moved out, he can knock himself out, up and down, monkey bars, whatever. Right, I had a gardening firm out a couple of weeks ago. They tidied up the garden just so it's given back in a decent state. So all the shrubbery is trimmed back. Looks reasonable. Okay. Yeah. Grass has been cut. All the trees are trimmed back. It really looks pretty decent. Right. What else I was gonna say? Oh, right, yeah. They replaced these fence panels here. Which ones did they replace? I think it was these three here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. Yeah, 4 panels. You can see they're peeling off, so they didn't bother to put anything on them, but they replaced the panels. Now the ones in the back, the neighbors in the back changed. So she waited for them to deteriorate to a point where they changed the panels, and they actually put some concrete panels on this side. Yeah, so that's how this lot operates. Now these little trellis things on top, they fall apart, they fall out. We kept putting them in, so whenever there was a bit of wind, they would come out. Now you can see there's some missing. There's one laying over there. So when last time around, when she was here, well, not last time, but at some point this year, we mentioned this, that they're falling apart and they're falling out. She said, we haven't raised your rent, so you can sort it out. It's on you, it's down to you. Okay, well, sorry, not doing that, mate. Right, that's the hopper that one of my lads replaced, and the downpipe. The one that they had, what it was, you could see how the hopper is low enough to, so the pipe on the right, it's got a gradient in it, it's got a downslope. The old hopper was higher. You can actually see the marks if you look above it. It was higher, and that pipe was running uphill. So whoever put that in, well done, mate. Well done, well done. Right. Drainage problems here. Well, first of all, that down pipe was overflowing. So what they had here when we moved in, they had a piece of pipe like that running out in the garden, and I questioned that. So he took it away, took it off, he took it off, and then one of the emails, she came back saying that we took it off without permission, and it was perfectly fine running into the garden. Right. They kept flooding the next door neighbor, and this is an ongoing issue before we even moved in. So we had some heavy rain this year. So after months of deliberation, well, maybe weeks of deliberation, they had a plumber over who connected that downpipe to the other downpipe, to the other soakaway. So not sure if that soakaway will take it, but that's how it is. Yeah, some dodgy cables here. Now our electrician disconnected that, all that garden lighting, crappy garden lighting that they had, but the cables are still here, nobody's touched them, and some other stuff that they had here that they left behind. Oh, I'm sure together with running on the monkey bars, there's a little tire swing. I'm sure somebody will enjoy that. Right. Kitchen sink drainage has always been problematic. You can see it doesn't work very well. There's a piece of pipe that keeps falling off that was rerouting it to the next drain point, but you can see the tiles here, how they subsided. That's because all that stuff goes underneath. I mean, whoever laid these tiles, they did a fantastic job, but it doesn't work very well with water and stuff running underneath. So you can imagine the smell in the summer when all this warms up. Not the greatest, I tell you, not the greatest. Another little fix that they did here, I'll show you. That pipe, that is raw sewage pipe, that is a shit pipe, yeah? So that had a hole in it. They had no problem with that, that didn't bother them. So I raised it, so instead of changing the pipe at a cost of, what, 12 quid, they put some tape on it. They put a plaster on it. Hey, maybe it healed. I wonder if pipes can heal. Whatever, doesn't matter. Does not matter. Right. Yeah, that light up there, it never worked. Well, it did, but it never came off. It would stay on or it wouldn't come on. It never worked properly, so we just switched it off in the garage. Right. Just like I said, the garden is, I had a gardening firm, same with the front garden, same with the front garden. Let's look at the front. Let's go look at the front. Yeah, that's the gate. Yeah, you can see that's just falling apart. That's just falling apart. Yeah, grass has been cut, bushes are trimmed. Okay, now the driveway, it's never been great, but it's just taken a turn for the worse. You can actually you can see the muddy places where it's just sunk in. Now there's, I don't know if the phone camera is going to give it justice, but there's a huge dip here. You can kind of see the mud. Now we had Virgin installing their cable some time ago because we couldn't get on with Talk. They just kept having problems. Their call center was halfway around the world. It wasn't working out well. So I've asked Virgin to install, which they did. It took them a while to put a T in the road, which they did. So we've got a Virgin box here. Yeah. What they wanted to do is they wanted to come across the drive, and they were going to replace it with same red tarmac. Jesus, she kicked up a shitstorm. Absolutely not, because it's her drive, her wonderful drive, and would get damaged. So they ended up putting the cable along the verge, on the fence, external, and into the house. Perfect. She tried to tell me that they had Virgin and it didn't work very well for him. Well, I'll tell you what, 120 meg average speed, no problems, no issues, never a fault ever since we had it. So this is the great drive that had to be preserved at any cost. Right, again, bushes trimmed, grass cut, and back through the great gate, which you have to kind of hold with both hands because, as you can see, it's not really attached to anything, is it? Okay. Yeah, the third bin is outside. I'll bring it in a second. That's the green bin. So that's it. So generally, to sum it up, we enjoyed living here. It's not a bad house, just not good people. I think that was the biggest problem. She had a great opportunity to have this place refurbished at a sensible cost. Instead, she chose to prove whatever she wanted to prove, whatever she had to prove. Doesn't matter. In the end, we're giving it back nice and tidy. I've seen the house that around the corner when it was handed over by the MOD, to whom she let it out, what state they left it in. Listen, we're not savage. We're leaving you a nice, clean, tidy house. Definitely in a better condition than when you moved out 4 years ago. So hey, you win. You're a winner. That's it. End of film.